This week on One Devotion, find out how the latest thrilling phase of the season ended and which teams survived. Meet a Euroleague rookie who crossed an ocean only to reunite with his twin brother. Turn back the clock to the highest scoring game this late in the season in competition history. And get into the playoffs groove with a series-by-series look at the magical matchups ahead. Growing up on the streets of Philadelphia, Brad Wanamaker of Brose Baskets Bamberg was happy to have particularly close and valuable support at his side always, his twin brother Brian. The Wanamakers spent all their time playing basketball together, and Bradley recalls that Brian's presence was always a comfort.
It helped a lot, actually, just having somebody by your side, going to different neighborhoods and playing against other guys. We stuck with each other, and I knew he had my back and I had his back whenever we went somewhere and something would happen. So it was fun, going to different neighborhoods in Philadelphia is not always easy, and just having him by my side made it safer.
It was often a tough environment, and eventually the Wanamaker twins made the joint decision to stop playing basketball on the streets and focus only on indoor games.
Growing up in Philadelphia, the streets was kind of crazy at times. We had summer league games and fights would break out or people would be shooting at games. So we decided to be safe. We would just play indoors, and it was a lot better playing indoors, and we felt safer because it was protected more.
The Wanamakers were separated for the first time when they attended different universities, and Brad admits that being apart from his lifelong running mate was not easy.
It was very tough. Our whole life we was together, we did everything together, always on the same team, and when we found out once we had to go to college that we was going to be on different teams in different states or something like this, it was tough. My first year, I struggled at Pitt. I don't know whether it was from me being away from him or just getting adjusted to the basketball in college, but it was tough.
After finishing college, Brad's professional career brought him to Europe when he moved to Italy in 2011, later joining Bamberg in 2014. And although you would think that moving to a new continent would take him even further away from his twin brother, in fact that opposite is true, because now Brian plays for another German team just down the road from Bamberg.
He's been going through some tough times. He hasn't found his break yet. He's working his way into it, and last year he came out here, played with our Pro A team for a little bit, our regionality team, and he played really good, and the team from Erfurt wanted him to come play for them, so he's there at Erfurt right now, which is like an hour and a half away.
Being reunited with his twin more than 6,000 kilometers away from home is a great feeling for Brad, who says the closeness between him and Brian even now allows them both to keep on improving their games.
I can say he's more of a scorer than me though, but we have similar games, and it's good that I get to see him play now and he get to see me play, because we tell each other you need to do this, you need to do this, and in the off season we constantly battling.
Despite their great relationship, however, there is one thing which the Wanamaker twins have never done together, and probably never will.
It's kind of crazy because to this day we can't play one-on-one. We always end up in a fight because we're both very competitive.
But if they don't like competing against one another, the Wanamakers have always known that success is a family affair, on the court and off.
It means the world to have him here, and just to build in my career. It wasn't an easy start. I had hit some bottoms in the beginning, but I kept working, staying confident, with family support back home, my wife and my kids. Everybody was so supportive, and it kept me confident and kept me working hard.
Thanks to that support and hard work, Brad led his team in scoring, assists and steals as a Euroleague rookie, and Bamberg enjoyed its best season ever in the competition. To have his twin brother close by for all of it only makes Wanamaker feel better.
Over the last couple of years, it's been going up for me, but I'm still working hard as if it's not. So it's a great feeling right now to know that I'm playing for a winning team and a great city.
This week in Euroleague history, back in 2005, the playoffs returned for best-of-3 series to decide Final Four qualifiers. And in their very first road game, that season's defending champions found themselves caught in a shootout that has never been equalled. Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv had swept the 6-game top 16 and defeated Scavolini Pesaro by 28 points in Game 1 of the series. But when it arrived to Italy looking for a knockout, Maccabi quickly realised that Scavolini intended to go down shooting. With starters Nikola Vujicic and Anthony Parker scoring early and often, and the previous season's hero Derek Sharp coming off the bench for more, Maccabi's point total kept climbing to 78 points after 3 quarters. But Scavolini stayed right on the heels of the champs the whole way, thanks to the career-high 32 points from Charles Smith, that season's winner of the first Alphonso Ford top scorer trophy. And when Scooney Penn, who played every second of the game, and buried a triple late with just 13 of them left, Maccabi's lead was down to 100-101. On the last play, the visitors broke Scavolini's press to give Maceo Baston a breakaway dunk that won the series and sent Maccabi forward to the Final Four in Moscow to become the first back-to-back Euroleague champion in 14 years. The final 100-103 result meant that the teams achieved 2 of just 5 100-point performances in 44 Euroleague playoff series, comprising more than 125 games over the last 11 seasons. As such, the 203 points scored in just 40 minutes that night are still a playoffs record for offensive production now, more than a decade later, this week in Euroleague history. The top 16 came to a conclusion with the remaining playoff places being tied up. Here are the highlights. All 4 playoff-bound teams suffered losses as Anadolu overcame Panathinaikos, Cedevita hammered Crvena Zvezda, Darussafaka beat Lokomotiv, and Unicaja defeated Fenerbahce. In Group E, Anadolu Efes welcomed Panathinaikos, with the Greens still fighting for home court advantage in the playoffs. Panathinaikos got off to a fast start and had a 13-point lead early in the second half before Tomas Hertel and Dario Saric came together for a 10-0 Efes run that brought the hosts back. The same duo was instrumental in the fourth as Efes finished strong to conclude their campaign with a victory. Cedevita looked to reward its fans with a final Euroleague home win, while Crvena Zvezda sought to fine-tune for the playoffs as it welcomed back long-injured captain Luka Mitrovic. The host took control early as Jacob Pullum popped off the bench, shooting darts, and didn't stop until he and another backup, Luka Zoric, had put Cedevita far enough ahead that they coasted to a blowout victory. Darussafaka bid farewell to its maiden Euroleague season, while Lokomotiv geared up for the playoffs. Lokomotiv started strong, but the hosts rallied back and took their first lead early in the fourth quarter to set up an exciting finish. With the local support spurring them on, Darussafaka made the big late plays to finish their season with a battling victory.
This is a big win for us in a disappointing round of Euroleague. We're upset with the way we finished in the group, but it's nice to go out with a win. Lately, they've been playing a lot better with a lot more energy on both sides.
Unicaja played its last game of the season hosting playoff-bound Fenerbahce. Nemanja Nedovic got the hosts going early on, and Unicaja built a double-digit lead behind Jack Cooley. The margin grew after the break, but with starters resting, Fenerbahce rallied behind the play of its youngsters. only for Unicaja to hold them off for a home win.
Well, I think that we had two phases. When at the beginning we are the only unbeaten team in Europe and we are able to win in Maccabi's or in Cesca's score, we are in the best shape of the season. But it's true that with 3 big injuries, everything's gonna be more difficult for us. But in any case, we learn, and these things used to happen sometimes in the season.
Fenerbahce finishes 2 games clear with Lokomotiv overcoming Panathinaikos for second place on head-to-head advantage. Crvena Zvezda takes the last playoff place, just edging out Efes. Barcelona secured a playoff spot by beating Žalgiris, and Madrid did the same with a win against Himki. Cesca overcame Olympiacos and Broza finished with a win against Laboral. In Group F, Barcelona travelled to Kaunas needing a win to secure a playoff place. Žalgiris led most of the way, but Barcelona stayed strong on defence when it mattered most and found a go-to guy in Pau Ribas, who returned from injury to score 14 points in the second half. Joey Dorsey added 12 points and 13 rebounds to lead Barcelona to a narrow win, which sealed third place.
Rebounding was in the first quarter, first half, we missed some open shots. They played great defense, but we hold them under 20 points. So coach was still a little upset about our defense, but second half we came out, and like I told the guys, it's a new half. Shots gonna fall, and that's what happened in the second half.
In a do-or-die battle for a playoff place, Real Madrid and Himki Moscow left everything on the floor. Himki had a great first half behind an outstanding Tyrese Rice, who scored 22 of his 24 points before the break. But Madrid improved its defence after half-time and had a consistent scorer in JC Carroll, who led the way with 23 points. Felipe Reyes added 18 as Madrid surged clear to advance into the next phase.
Very happy. I think it was an unbelievable group. I think we did a great job during the whole group. It was very difficult for us with all the situations it happened during the season. But we came to the last game and we got it. Very happy.
Broza Baskets hosted Laboral Cucha and, fueled by Darius Miller, the hosts took control early on, dominating on both ends of the floor to build a 21-point lead in the second quarter. Bamberg's lead never dropped back into single digits as they ran away with a convincing win. But Barcelona's victory in Kaunas eliminated the German team from the playoff race. Olympiacos kept its options alive until the final minute, led by Vasilis Panoulis, who finished with 17 points. But Cesca went to its regular go-to guy as weekly MVP Nando De Colo took over in crunch time, scoring 12 of his 20 points in the final 3 minutes, allowing his team to finish the top 16 with a prestigious road win. Cesca Moscow wins the group, 1 game ahead of Laboral Cucha. Barcelona finishes in third place and Real Madrid pushes out Himki and Bamberg after beating both teams twice. As Cesca Moscow prepares for the playoffs, Nando De Colo once again came to the fore on the final night of the top 16 to ensure his team is heading into the next phase with winning momentum. Cesca faced the tough challenge of a road trip to Olympiacos Piraeus, to finish this phase of the season, and Decolor's excellence allowed the Russian Giants to claim a hard-fought 96-99 victory, also earning the weekly MVP award for Top 16, Round 14. Decolor was a consistent presence throughout the game, scoring 20 points, including 12 of 13 shots from the free throw line. He added 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals and 1 blocked shot, adding up to a performance index rating of 36, the highest of his career and the best of all players this week.
Number 5, Kaunas Lithuania. Žalgiris with possession. Martynas Sajus goes up, but right there with him is Barcelona's enforcer, Joey Dorsey, with a powerful block. Great play from Dorsey. Number 4, Piraeus Greece. Milos Teodosic for CSKA, trying to pick his way through the Olympiacos defense. What a great pass to Andrei Vorontsevich. Easy finish for him, made easy for him by Teodosic. Number 3, Istanbul, Turkey. Efes with possession, but James Gist makes a steal, and you know what's coming next. Showtime from James Gist. A 360 slam. A man who knows how to finish in style. Number 2, Piraeus Greece. Fast break from Olympiacos. Hakeem Warwick takes off to detonate the dunk. The pass from Daniel Hackett, the finish from Hakeem Warwick. Number 1, Bamberg, Germany. Final seconds of the first half. Darius Miller somehow keeps it in bounds and then hits an impossible 3-pointer. On a night when Bamberg finished the season with a win, looked like the ball was heading out of bounds, but Miller somehow saves it and somehow scores.
2 newcomers and 6 familiar contenders get on their marks to try to reach the Final Four in Berlin, when the best of 5 Turkish Airlines Euroleague playoffs offer a showdown after showdown starting next Tuesday. Fenerbahce Istanbul showed it can win in a variety of ways en route to the playoffs, with Željko Obradovic's men claiming some victories with high-scoring blowouts and others with strong defense or stirring late comebacks. Unbeaten at home all season, Fenerbahce is strong all over the floor, with leading scorer Luigi Datome receiving plenty of help in that department from rising star Bogdan Bogdanovic, dynamic floor general Bobby Dixon and high-flying Epe Udo, who also leads the league in block shots. Udo and the experienced Pero Antic will have to compensate from the absence of injured star Jan Vesely, with Ricky Hickman and Nikola Kalinic also gaining plenty of minutes from the bench as Fenerbahce aim to make their 2nd consecutive Final Four appearance. Reigning champion Real Madrid has struggled at times this season, but shown a true winner's mentality by pulling out key victories at the most vital moments. All-action Gustavo Ayllón has been the key player, ranking among the league's top 5 performers in rebounds, block shots, steals and index rating. Veteran rebounding ace Felipe Reyes also provides a powerful inside presence, while the backcourt duo of Sergio Rodriguez and Sergio Llull remain fundamental to the fortunes of Pablo Lazo's team. With the dynamic Rudy Fernandez now fully recovered after a long injury layoff, and the shooting skills of JC Carroll and Casey Rivers promising unlimited point-scoring potential, there's no doubt that Madrid remains a formidable opponent as they head into the playoffs with the goal of defending their title. Reigning champ Real Madrid looks to win in Asia as Fenerbahce Istanbul hosts the first 2 games of their rematch from last season's semi-final. With 6 straight home victories to finish 2nd in the most competitive group in Top 16 history, Laboral Cucha Vitoria Gasteiz is aiming to return to the Final Four for the first time since 2008. The star man has been veteran centre Ioannis Bourousis, who was named March MVP after leading the league all season in rebounding, as well as ranking second in performance index rating and fifth in scoring. But Laboral is not a one-man team, with Bourousis' experience supported by exciting, non-stop go-getters like Mike James, Adam Hanger and Darius Adams. The return of three-point shooting specialist Davis Bertans after long-term injury has been a major plus for coach Velimir Perasovic, who will also hope to have the versatile Fabien Causeur back from injury for the playoffs. Under new coach Sasha Djordjevic, Panathinaikos Athens recovered from a slow start to roar into the playoffs as one of the league's most informed teams, winning 8 of the last 10 top 16 games. In his goodbye season, Euroleague basketball legend Dimitris Diamantidis is still making a significant contribution, but the team has another engine on both offense and defense in Nick Kalathis, who leads the league in steals and ranks third in assists. Panathinaikos' top scorer is Miroslav Radulica, who splits time at centre with regular starter Onyen Kuzmic, while James Gist has proved that he offers more than spectacular slams by leading the Greens in rebounding. With the added energy of James Feldine and mid-season signing Elliot Williams, Panathinaikos will not be beaten easily. Laboral Kucha welcomes Panathinaikos Athens to Vitoria Gasteiz for 2 games exactly 10 years after their first playoff series together. With an average of more than 90 points per game, CSKA Moscow boasts one of the best offenses in Euroleague history. The inspiration has been the star guard duo of Nando De Colo, the February MVP, and the competition's top-rated performer this season, and Milos Teodosic, who scored more points than anyone else in the top 16. The experience of big man Karl Heinz, a 2-time Euroleague champion, will be key for CSKA, while the versatility of Andrei Voroncevic, the inside presence of team leading rebounder Nikita Kurbanov, and the three-point shooting skills of Corey Higgins provide more potent weapons. As CSKA heads into the playoffs on the back of 9 consecutive home victories, Dimitris Itoudis' team will be confident of landing yet another Final Four berth. Crvena Zvezda Telekom Belgrade secured its first ever playoff qualification on the back of a strong home record, winning 9 of 12 games in the Serbian capital as the team's famously loud and loyal fans played their part in an outstanding campaign. Dejan Radonic's men lean heavily on the inside presence of Mike Zirbes, who ranks 6th this season in rebounds, with the support of Vladimir Stimac from the bench. Another key performer is Quincy Miller, the Euroleague's 6th best scorer this season. Playmaker Stefan Jovic set the competition's single-game record with 19 assists in the regular season. Backup point man Vasilije Micic is another consistent contributor, while energy and experience are provided by Terence Kinsey. All are vital as Zvezda looks for some beginner's luck in the playoffs. CSKA Moscow begins its pursuit of a 5th consecutive Final Four appearance at home against playoffs rookie Crvena Zvezda Telekom Belgrade. Defense has been the name of the game for Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar, which allowed fewer points than any other team during both the regular season and the top 16 to progress into the playoffs for the first time in club history. The hustle and energy of players like Chris Singleton and Victor Claver have been fundamental to the defensive success of Georgios Bartzokas' team. But Lokomotiv certainly doesn't lack offensive weapons. October's league MVP Malcolm Delaney spent more time on the floor than any other player this season. And Anthony Randolph has scored in double figures in 10 of his last 11 games. And with the three-point shooting skills of Ryan Broekhoff and recent signing Matt Janning, Lokomotiv will be gunning to make their already historic season even better. FC Barcelona Lassa survived a tough group and a number of injuries thanks to 5 consecutive home victories over the likes of CSKA Moscow, Olympiacos and Real Madrid to conclude the top 16. High-flying Tomas Satoransky led that surge on offense, while the defense was bolstered by the mid-season return of former Euroleague champion Joey Dorsey. Another big man, Ante Tomic, leads Barcelona in scoring and rebounding. And Xavi Pascual's team is lifted by the versatile skills of Stratos Perperoglu and Justin Dolman, the author of 2 memorable game-winning buzzer beaters in the top 16. Perimeter scoring comes from veterans Juan Carlos Navarro and Carlos Arroyo, plus young gun Alex Abrines, giving Barcelona a deep, experienced roster on its best form as the playoffs begin. FC Barcelona Lassa journeys to visit a playoffs newcomer, Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar, that plans to put its hard-won home court advantage to good use. We'll be back next week with more EuroLeague action.